Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. It's all Greek to me. That's a phrase in our world that we use to mean that we don't understand a thing about what was just said. But when I went to seminary, suddenly I couldn't say that anymore because we had to learn Greek. In fact, language changes over time, so what we actually learned wasn't modern Greek, but New Testament Greek, the way they used the language when the New Testament was written. It's actually a valuable tool for pastors. First, when you learn a language, you are also in some way immersing yourself in the culture of the times. And second, words have nuance and meaning that doesn't always translate easily. And all that helps in trying to understand the Bible. This week we want to explore some of those Greek words that may mean more than we ever knew. And my goal this week is to investigate 10 of them with you. Hopefully you'll gain a deeper understanding of what their English counterparts mean by learning about the original. We'll start with the word you most likely know, agape, and you probably know that it means love. In fact, the Greeks used several different words for love, and each one had its own meaning. Eros was the word used to describe romantic love. Storge was used of natural instinctive love, like the love of a parent for a child. Phileo means brotherly love. And agape is altruistic love. When Jesus spoke about agape love, he tended to use old familiar sayings to describe it. Things like loving God, loving neighbor, doing unto others, that kind of thing that was already well known. But when Jesus referred to these things, he referred to them in a startlingly unconditional way. Love of God means complete trust and renunciation of self and pride. Love of neighbor was meant in the way that transcends any restriction of it. In other words, love of neighbor didn't mean just to love the person near you. The neighbor was simply any person in need. Love of neighbor also included enemies. And this love was intended to be given, to be lived and acted toward all. It was truly, wholly sacrificial. Part of what Jesus is saying with this word is that the love and forgiveness of God has put us into a new situation that changes everything. Jesus brings a new and overflowing love which fills and directs all of life and action. God's relationship to us puts us in a new relationship to God and to one another. Now, there are powerful implications there for who we are, how we live, and how we live together. It's not always easy, and it calls us to give up ourselves and the things we hold dear, because we hold God and each other even more dearly. Our second word today is Adelphos, which means something like brother or sister. It refers to the brotherhood and sisterhood of God's people together. We talk about that a lot when we talk about our church family and how close we feel. It's been a central focus recently after the pandemic, and we have finally been able to join together in one worship service together. We were so hungry for that, for being together and with each other and God. This word occurs 346 times in the New Testament and is found as the root of the word Philadelphia. Phileo, love, Adelphos, brother, the city of brotherly love. Several years ago, we were searching for a new musician, and we would interview candidates with questions, asked to hear them play certain things, and then we went to Zorba's for a meal to see how they related socially. During the meal one time, I asked the committee, Suppose you are this candidate's best friend. What would you want them to know about our church? There were several answers, but one I will never forget. Someone said, I would tell them that we are a happy church. Perhaps that's because of Agape and Adelphos. We are brothers and sisters, living not for ourselves but for others, because of God's love for us. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.